My name is Marco. I'd give anything to be on the other side again. Just a normal kid in a regular world. But then I remember that the world isn't regular anymore. And I remember that at any minute, a controller could be sneaking up on me, about to shove a slimy alien slug in my ear.
Looking for Jake?
Oh. Hey, Tom. Yeah, is he upstairs?
I don't know. I just got here.
Right.
How'd you pick the name Hope?
I know, I did not do well.
Hey, dude, we gotta stop meeting like this.
We always hung out before. It'd be a bigger bust if we suddenly stopped. I agree.
Yeah. By the way, your brother's here, man.
That's why I have a door. Okay, let's try this thing. You're the computer whiz.
Compared to you, maybe. All right, let's see what happens.
It doesn't look like it'll fit.
What, you have a better idea?
Try Alt Escape X.
Oh,
God.
What's going on?
What happened?
Worked on Independence Day.
Yeah, but they had Will Smith.
What are you guys doing?
Just cracking up. Marco finally said something funny. So what's next?
I don't know. Any ideas? Let's sleep on it, okay? Oh, he takes it away. It's yours. Hey, Tom. You up for a quick game? Marco's no challenge anymore.
Nah, I get somewhere to be.
Oh. Hey, do you think there's gonna be any college scouts there tonight? Gonna go for a triple-double or what?
Nah. Team's history. I'm going somewhere else.
Where?
To a new club. The Sharing. Everybody's joining.
Wait a second, you quit the basketball team?
Jake, there is more to life than throwing a ball at a stupid hoop.
What? Basketball's like your whole life.
Not anymore. Anyway, we do cooler things at the Sharing. And besides, the place is a magnet for girls. You guys should come. I'll see you two clowns later.
Quit the team.
You know all that stuff about how anybody could be a controller?
Yeah? What do you say? What are you saying?
I'm just saying that it's pretty weird that your all-star, all-state Mr. Basketball brother would suddenly quit playing hoops.
Yeah, so?
So? Maybe Tom's not entirely under his own control.
It would never get to my brother.
What? You think he's immune?
He's too smart.
You just don't want to see it. Have you looked in his ear lately?
Hey, if you're looking for someone who's acting weird, why don't you start with your father?
Hey, Marco.
Didn't you have a job interview today?
Yeah. Yeah, I canceled.
Oh. Great.
Actually, I had something more important to do.
Like what?
I went down to the cemetery, put some fresh flowers out for your mom.
Oh. Well, there'll be other job interviews.
Yeah.
Want me to call for a pizza?
Sure, that'd be great.
Thanks for walking with me.
Sure.
Where do you live anyway?
I'm down on Grove with my aunt. Last year I used to live with this other uncle. Kind of get passed around.
That must be rough.
It's all right. I gotta get going.
You know, I saw a hawk flying over my house this morning.
What makes you think it was me?
Something about the way it flew.
Do you ever wish you could just fly away?
Sometimes.
Smile! Now you have a picture of your new boyfriend.
Sarah!
Yeah, you're right. Oh yeah, I really should.
So you went to the mall? Yeah, and
Stop right there, Marco.
Yes, Mr. Chapman.
You know, it always bothers me when the grades of one of our best students begin to drop.
Well, if I find that student, I'll tell him you said so.
Levity won't get you out of this. Maybe what you need are some friends that will be a better influence. Disgusting creatures.
I didn't think you'd show.
Oh, what are you kidding? I live for Science Lab makeups, bro.
Hey, careful. I dropped one earlier. I can't find it.
Yeah, I saw it in the hallway. Chapman almost stepped on it. Listen, about what happened yesterday.
I'll forget it if you will.
I mean, we're dealing with some serious stuff here. It's a little more drastic than finding a zip. We were bound to go ballistic sooner or later, man. You know?
I'm sorry.
Me too, man.
Blackmire, over here. Have you had any success in locating the Andalites?
Not yet, but we're still looking.
That's unacceptable.
We know they're using human morphs, approximately the same age as my host body.
Just find them. Now, go stand watch while I check the entrance to the pool.
Yes, sir.
Chapman went that way.
Jake, I can't see very well.
Weird. I can't see colors.
Whoa, my tongue. It can smell things.
It's between classes.
No, scared. Run, hide.
Get a grip.
Get a grip. Get a grip. Man, this skink is one nervous animal.
Watch out.
Is everything ready for tonight?
Everything's arranged.
Show me.
Tom! No, Jake. I'm sorry, man.
Very impressive. But it's been 3 days. Regeneration must begin tonight, at sundown.
I need the Chondrona nutrients. How many new hosts will be there?
50 new members from the sharing. But your host's brother is not among them. Why?
Jake has a very strong will. He may be a problem for us. If he doesn't cooperate, we may have to correct the problem. Sir?
What do we have here?
Jake, help!
Stay calm. Just stay calm.
Nasty little creature.
Jake, help!
Disgusting thing.
Stay calm. Just stay calm.
Jake, help me!
Marco, be cool.
Next time we use a phone booth, dude. Don't worry, man. We're gonna help your brother.
Jake, I'm really sorry about your brother.
I'm gonna set him free no matter what it takes. When we do, I'm gonna take that yerk inside of his head and squash it like a bug.
At least now we know that the Yerks need some sort of booster treatment every 3 days.
And we know a way into this pool, whatever that is.
Yeah, you'd think that Alfangor would have given us an instruction manual or something.
You mean before or after he went toe-to-toe with Visor 3?
Well, maybe that's what the disc is for.
We need an instruction manual for that, too.
This is where my mom works with all of the exotic animals.
Exotic? Like rare chickens or something?
Hey, listen, if we're gonna fight the yerks, I think we're gonna need something a little more dangerous than a rat, a cat, and a dog.
How dangerous is dangerous, dude?
This looks tricky. I'll give you a boost.
Why do I have to go first?
Because you're small, I can get you up there.
Well, you're the leader. Why don't you go first?
Okay, you boost me.
Man, that's barbed wire, baboso.
You guys almost finished.
My bad, dude.
Wow.
Whoa.
Look at that.
They've all been fed, right, Cass?
What is it?
It's a white Bengal tiger. Now watch his eyes. If they dilate, just back away very, very slowly.
Slowly.
Remember, all you have to do is touch it to acquire its DNA.
Just make a fuffer sound.
A what?
Fuffer. Like this.
See, it calms him down.
Yeah, sure.
Easy, Jake. Slowly.
Hey, buddy.
Remember, when you acquire its DNA, it'll go into a trance.
How about that moment before the trance when it rips his arm off?
This one's for you, Tom.
Yes. Cool.
Okay, Rach, you're next.
I've got it. You're till the line-hearted.
Yeah? Well, Marco the chicken-hearted says let's go before we become lunch.
Good idea.
Jake, don't take this the wrong way, but, you think you should leave Elfangor's disc in your room?
You're right, but I already thought of that. From now on, it goes where I go.
Cool. We're gonna help your brother, bro. I promise.
You think we'll pass as human controllers?
We'll find out tonight.
Go on. Go. Move.
We have many hosts to regenerate tonight. I will be in my chambers. Notify me when it is done.
Yes, Mr. 3. You, stay in the regeneration line. Over there. Move over there. Regeneration line, over here. Moving.
Look. Torren.
Oh, let go of me! You can't put that thing back in me!
Keep those freed hosts quiet!
Get in line. We report directly to Visser 3. Get out of our way.
Ow! What are you doing? Not again! Don't touch me! Help me! No, not again! Stop it!
We've got to do something. It's Cassie. What is she doing?
I don't know.
Something wrong?
Come on, let's distract him.
Do it quick.
Having a hard time getting out of her ear.
Turn your head.
I'm almost free.
No! Don't put that thing back in my ear! Let go of me!
Rachel, you have Visser 3 to your right and 2 Hork-Bajir behind you.
Thanks, Tobias.
What is going on up there? Stop them, you fools!
The door! Controller!
Cassie, hurry up!
Where'd they go? Did anyone see their faces? Hey, you! Stop right there! We did our best.
You have failed once again.
You okay?
Yeah. I'd give anything to be just a regular kid again. But no. Now I get to change my shape more often than I change my underwear. But when I saw Jake's brother and all the others trapped, taken over, controlled, I realized I'm one of the lucky ones.
That was wild. Just glad we're all okay.
Tom's not.
There'll be another time, Jake. We'll get him back, okay?
And Tobias, he did it again. If it wasn't for Tobias, I'd be roadkill. Thanks, Tobias.
Tobias?
That's not him.
What? You mean I've been talking to a bird all the way back?
No. You don't think. Tobias?
Rachel, I'm sure he made it out. Tobias!
Tobias? Tobias?
Tobias!
Hey, Tobias!
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 Tobias!